Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Dungeon Nytes. Last time, we cleared the Cragmaw Castle with a war going outside, defeated King Groll, rescued Gundren, and then heard the unfortunate cry of one wee goblin from outside in the hallway. Help me! In our party, looked quickly out the room to see orcs in every direction, and one familiar orc, Brugor, the Blade Vilnaval, holding Droop mid-air by his head. And we get to
Gonna level my warhammer toward Brugor. The warhammer that he gave me.
you to pick it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up and point it at him. Not say anything, just point it at him.
Oh, look who it is. If it isn't the young pup. Feel like you want to use that again, boy?
He's not gonna say anything, just steely gaze.
Ashin's gonna look at Brugor and say, I would appreciate it if you'd put our goblin friend down.
Oh, is this one yours? They look familiar. He's just gonna hold him. Well, I told you last time the castle was ours. What are you
can have
doing
it.
here?
We told you that we were looking for a friend that's here.
Did you happen to find him?
We did.
Ashin's gonna pull out his string of ears.
You know what, Elf? It's quite a nice string you have there. If you wouldn't mind parting with it, I could give you this one.
Living.
Oh, right. I'll put him down. And he slowly puts Droop on the ground, but still holds him by the head.
Ashin's gonna take a few steps towards him. About 10 feet away. And he's gonna hold the string of ears out.
Brugor is going to release his grip on Droop's head, and Droop is going to slowly start walking towards you while keeping his eyes back towards Brugor. And Brugor is going to take the same hand that he released Droop with and put it underneath the necklace.
And I'll let him have it.
Fair trade. You seem to have been busy, Elf.
It was a group effort.
Aye. Well, Pop, we took this castle. We were trying to find Groll. I'm assuming he's in there.
More or less.
And Brugor puts the ears into a kind of a pocket in his vest underneath his armor.
Odds are less.
Well, see as you out here and I'm not stupid, he's dead, ain't he?
Yeah.
Goderic, go ahead and hand it over.
Toss him. Whatever he wants.
The head.
I'll toss him the head.
The head rolls across the floor to Brugor and he looks down at his feet. And he smiles. You know what? I told you last time. Strength respects strength. Somehow you lot managed to get in his castle. We saw the carnage you left where we passed by. And you've managed to unseat the king, the great bugbear, Grow.
He wasn't that great.
I
Barry
imagine
just
he
smiles.
wasn't. He's a fucking goblin. No offense to you, little mate. Just like
Asteria, you're
hides
still in
behind
bear
a shield.
form, aren't you? Or did you drop wild shape?
She
think I dropped
she
wild
dropped it to
shape.
heal. Go to
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
but she just smiles knowing that she killed quite a few things on the way in.
You should see the other thing that we killed in there. I think you'd be more interested in that.
Oh.
Leif puts his hand up. Yeah, maybe not.
All I want to know is that all the goblins are dead.
We didn't go through the entire castle, so I'm not sure. But the area that we cleared out.
I'm just gonna let you know, if you kill them, that's it. We've cleared the old castle.
All right.
They put up a bit of a fight, but they didn't stand up to us. And you see all the orcs kind of stand up a little higher and puff up their chests a bit, kind of raising their shields and kind of bringing them tighter as they kind of puff up and posture aggressively and kind of proudly that they had defeated this army of goblins and taken this castle.
Well, I'm proud for you, that Brugor, but I mean, we watched your fighting out on the field there for a bit. You fought well.
Well, I'm just gonna leave that alone because I still don't know how I feel about commiserating with an elf. Oh, so what will we do with you?
Like you said, strength respects strength.
No. Not that I actually care, but that's the first time I've ever had an elf. Not only one, offer me an impressive necklace of ears, and two, offer me any kind of respect.
We aren't like most of our kind.
I see that. Give me a moment, please. And Brugor is he's gonna step away and kind of turn his back to you and take a moment to himself.
Droop, I want you to go stand behind everyone else, please. And Ashin's just gonna give everybody else like a glance, like, be ready just in case.
When Brugor does that, Leif actually goes more into the room, and then are there sheets on the bed in Grol's room?
I don't know if a bugbear uses bedding.
Not sure. Just a bed in there. Last time I remember.
Brugor comes back and he looks you all over. Alright. It's been a good day of fighting. We've killed many. You've killed some. And you also killed the important one. There's no goblins left here. What do you say we go back to camp? You know, just across the field. Get some food, get some sleep, and then we can talk.
Do I have your word that no harm's gonna befall the party?
Master Elf, as I did before, this is my warband. Every orc here obeys me. No one will lift a hand on you, especially once I show them this. And he pulls out the string of ears again and lifts it high for all the orcs to see. And then he reaches down and picks up King Grol's head and shows it around to the orcs around him, and you hear these like grunts, and they're all kind of giving you this like weird look where that internal hatred of elves as an orcish kind of being in that orcish history is there, but at the same time, because you have now been given the respect of Brugor, the Blade of Ilnaval, they are also kind of rallying for you at this point. And you get a sense that there's at least a modicum of respect amongst this band and your party.
Ashin's gonna reach into his belt, and he's gonna pull out his dagger, and he's gonna flip it in his hand so he's holding the blade, and he's gonna offer it to Brugor as an offering of peace.
What was that?
I'm offering you my dagger as a token of my statement that I'm not going to attack you or your warband.
Well, if you did, that would be very stupid. That being said, he's going to take the dagger from your hand, kind of look it over. You know, it's somewhat nicely made. And he's going to start picking his teeth with it. Yeah.
It's good steel.
Oh, work. He's going to tuck it into the back of his belt. All right, enough of this lovey-dovey bullshit. Head out, men. And he kind of rallies the orcs to go, and the orcs start filing through the castle. As you walk as a party.
Before they leave the room.
Say, before you walk with Brugor, is there anything else you want to do?
Well, we need to get Gundren. Because he's still in the room. We can't just leave him here in the castle.
Leif would actually like to go to the doppelganger's body and kneel down and close its eyes. Then put a hand next to it, just say, "May your true form remain yours." And takes the bedding covering the doppelganger's body and gets the tinder box out and lights the bedding and body on fire.
Gundren's going to look over from inside the room. What you doing over there?
Leif just stands up. It's fine. Just shape changers. Their true form is something special. I think it just makes sense to do what I did.
You're a special breed, you are. That thing tried to kill me more times than I can count. Clearly Gundren's still hurt. I wouldn't have done the same thing. And he kind of starts walking to the door, unaware that you guys have just seen this horde of orcs, as he has no idea what's going on.
That's fine.
I'm gonna take a moment to fill him in.
As you kind of relay to Gundren what is happening in the immediacy of the moment, where the castle has been under the assault of orcs and you have just rescued him, and now you're about to go back to an orc camp. His eyes grow wide. Master Ashin, you think this wise?
We're heavily outnumbered, and it is easier sometimes to acquiesce than to try to fight through an entire orc warband.
Well, I'm in no shape to fight, so point taken. Let's onward, shall we? And he starts walking out of the room.
I'm gonna stay next to Gundren.
Leif
I'm gonna-
So he peeks into the side room inside that room to see if there's anything in there before we leave.
As you look in the side room, you can see some hay on the floor, some rubble from a broken wall of a parapet, but it's just a closed off room. It was an old storeroom and it didn't have anything of value in it.
He just shrugs and goes to leave with everyone else.
It's not
Follow
really
the
like,
orc party.
it's not Ashin's style, but he's gonna sling his bow over his back and just keep his hand on his longsword, just in case.
You walk back through the castle, taking the orc's lead and walking through areas that you hadn't previously. You walk through a door ahead of you that leads to a familiar hallway where the passage was at the north side of the castle. As you continue on through another doorway, you see a great hall that looks like it was attached to a kitchen, and the body of a Grick lays minced to pieces on the floor. As you continue on through the next room, you see additional bodies strewn where there was clearly large battles.
How big is the Grick?
It's a, 7 to 8 foot long worm-looking apparatus with the face of an octopus, beak, and tentacles.
I'm gonna put its head in my bag.
It's a fairly sizable head.
Why?
Put the head in my bag.
As you continue on into the further rooms and continue to see the carnage and the rubble and the disrepair of this castle, you can see that the orcs were swift and merciless in how they dealt with the goblins here. Many ears missing in familiar fashion. Hobgoblins, bugbears, goblins alike, all downed in horrific fashion. As you continue to walk westward through the castle, you come out to an area where there seemed to have been a fall trap, as there's an empty net and rocks that had just kind of fallen on the spot. Your party makes your way around that and through an opening and across two familiar doors that you had previously seen busted down at the front of this castle, dilapidated after years of just decay and misrepair. As you walk over this, you can see 300 yards across this field of death is the orc camp. And you walk across. Right and left, you see bodies of orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, weapons, arrows strewn on both sides of the field of battle. Just carnage. The grass is soaked with black and green blood. As you walk, your feet almost start to sink into mud slightly. It's a somber walk, but the orcs and you feel the pull of victory. And as you make your way to the camp, escorting Gundren slowly, Brugor has stopped to wait for you at the front of the tent, or at the front of the encampment. As you approach, you see many tents, more so than there were last time, must have been reinforced since the last week or so that you met them in preparation for this battle against the castle. You see the familiar sigils of bears everywhere along their insignias, their banners, totems that have been placed up, again with more significant fortifications around the base. And as you reach the camp, the sun has almost completely set on the day. Brugor says, "Well, you lot, come on, we got some meat, we got some stew, and we'll clear out one of the tents so y'all can, have a place to rest. We're not completely inhospitable."
Brugor, do you have a healer?
A healer? I mean, we have some home remedies we might be able to apply. And he kind of looks over. Oh, is that your dwarf friend you were looking for?
Yes, but Godor got beat up pretty bad during that fight.
He'll be all right. Look at him. He's a half orc, that one.
You're just gonna flex a little bit.
He walks
act
over.
like the injuries are nothing.
He kind of walks over and looks you up and down, Godorok, and then slugs you in the shoulder. You'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. Little mate, you'll heal up just right.
Just gonna nod to him.
As you turn as a party to follow Brugor and enter the camp, you hear the sound of a horn coming from the castle. And the party turns to look. Atop the castle, you can see far off a hooded figure holding the body of an orc and flings it head first off one of the parapets. You can see that he holds a staff and calls out to you in a booming voice. Well, isn't this interesting? You seem to have taken my castle. Give me the dwarf, or die. You have until sunrise. And with that, the sun sets and darkness falls over the castle, and the figure disappears. Brugor turns to you. Who the fuck was that? I thought we cleared the castle. Starts looking around at his men almost angrily.
Leaf lanes over to Brugor. I think that might be the black spider.
The black what?
Exactly. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Calls himself the Black Spider.
He's a bug that we need to squash.
Apparently behind of a lot of things. The goblins, most of what's been going on.
You tell me that sorry bastards which caused all these goblins to move into our land?
I can't
Yeah.
tell you that for sure, but probably.
Well, he needs to die too then.
How well lit is the area that we're standing in?
Fairly well lit. The entire camp has torches lit all around the perimeter. Within, there are makeshift posts that have torches that have been attached to them.
Suffice to say, there's not a lot of darkness.
Correct.
Okay.
Despite the fact that the orcs have dark vision, they seem to have made this a well-lit encampment, probably for sake of superior visibility, just overall during watches.
Leif at this point does drop Hex off of Ashi.
How much time do we have until sunrise?
It just set, so about good 10 hours or so.
That if we take a long rest now, that would give us 2 hours to assault whoever's in the castle still. And we'd have our long rest, have all of our slots back and stuff.
We're obviously not giving Gundren over.
Obviously. The long rest would give him the opportunity to heal. And maybe Ashin's gonna look at Brugor. And You seem like an honorable man.
You see his eyebrow raise.
I'm not willing to give Gundren up. And he points at the dwarf. And it would be too much for me to ask you to assist us in this fight. All I would ask is that you keep him alive.
Brugor,
Unless you want to join us in assaulting this guy and figuring out what's going on.
Brugor is going to scratch. Tell you what. You keep your man alive. I don't give two shits what happens to him. It's just what it is. However, we do have a mutual interest in making sure no more goblin filth infiltrates this area. It threatens our home. So for that, yeah, we'll fight. We'll make Grumps proud. And you hear orcs start crying out. The camp erupts and then dies down.
Would you be willing to allow us to take a rest so our party can rest? And then before first light, if we go to rest now, it would give us about 2 hours to assault this castle.
Mate, look, I don't know if you're nervous or what, but I told you back in the castle, we got food. It's time fucking to eat. Aren't you hungry? I'm always hungry after a good battle. Let's go get some food. I told you got a fucking tent. Get some sleep. Get something to eat. And we'll go find out who this dickhead is, and we'll go and shove him a bag of riches, if you know what I mean.
If you mean my quiver full of arrows, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that works. And Brugor is going to motion to the party to come over to a large fire that's at the center of the camp, where there are multiple spits turning with a few deer around it. He says, food's about ready. Just wait your turn. Stand here. I've instructed him to give you some food. And you see that tent over there? And he's going to point kind of to the southeastern side of this kind of circular encampment and say, I'll clear out that tent. If anybody gives you problems, just fucking stab him.
All right. I'm going to look at Goderic and I'm going to say, look, they have deer. We don't have to eat lamb.
This turned out to be an okay day after all.
And then Ashin's going to pull the Grick head out. You want to try it?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
I would be willing to eat the deer over that.
I'm going to cut the tentacles off.
Leif would like to see how much he knows about a Grick and see if it's toxic to them.
It probably is.
Give me a survival check. Why not?
Leif got a 2.
Oof.
Can I make a survival check as well?
Sure.
Same. Let's see how to cook it up.
So that's a 17.
Okay.
That is very laggy, D&D Beyond. What's up with your dice rolling?
A 17, huh?
Mine's 18, so not really any better.
You two take a look at this Gricka head that has 4 large tentacles and a beak attached to it. And based off of your senses of smell, your experience over time with hunting, fishing, gathering, etc., you clearly ascertained that there seems to be no difference between this and kind of that of an octopus or a squid. It seems, very meaty, maybe a bit more meaty than your average sea creature. But other than that, I mean, you cut the flesh looks, kind of white on the inside. There's, series of cartilage and sinews that seem to be there. And, aside from the beak itself, which feels much harder than a typical octopus or a squid beak, you're fairly certain that you can eat this and eat well.
Ashin's gonna, we'll cut the tentacles off, and then he's gonna put the rest of the head back in his bag, and he's gonna hand 2 to go to take 2 over to the fire, and
I
look
will
for a place
find
that he
whoever
can
is
cook
cooking
it himself.
and give it to him.
Ashin's gonna cook his own.
The cook,
Okay.
who is tending the deer on the spit, takes a look at you and sees you kind of holding these 2 tentacles. He gives you this puzzled look, and then kind of gives you one of those shrug. Oh, okay, and hands you 2 large pointed sticks for you to be able to kind of impale, and instructs you where to implant them next to the fire so that they can start to cook properly.
I shall follow his instructions.
And once I notice that, I'm gonna walk over there and repeat the process, so to speak.
Leif gives Asteria a look. This is who we travel with.
As you place the tentacles by the fire, you can see that kind of very quickly they start to brown on one side, so you're needing to turn them a bit more frequently than you thought you might. However, a pleasant aroma starts to come from the tentacle, and it smells very much like, just a cooked seafood. You can see the flesh starts to kind of harden up and tenderize, almost like crab meat would as it's been boiled. And you can start to see more of the sinews within the flesh become apparent, almost like a steak. And after, a good 5 to 6 minutes by the fire, you ascertain that it's done.
I'm gonna take both of my tentacles, and I'm gonna look at Leaf, and I'm gonna look at Asteria, and be like,
Is
Anybody?
Brugor around?
Leif seems a little puzzled. First off, she doesn't eat animals. Second, why the hell not?
So Ashin's gonna rip a piece of the tentacle off and hand it to Leif.
As you do,
Leif.
it's quite tender, and you're surprised almost at how flaky it is. Almost like a well-cooked fish. It kind of falls apart almost as you rip that piece off. There's a solid chunk, but then flakes start to kind of fall at your feet.
Ashin's gonna take a piece himself, and he's gonna take a bite.
He's gonna start eating mine straight off the steak.
As you both start to bite into this, you get the sense of just a well kind of cooked. It's got a nice texture. It's got a nice flavor. If you've ever eaten kind of like more fish, it has more of like a fish property to it, despite the fact that it being more of a landworm creature. It has almost this like a nice hearty kind of flaky steak feel to it. And as you eat it, you realize that it's actually pretty damn good.
I'm gonna walk over to the cook and offer him a piece. And say,
Hey.
it's a grick, and it's delicious. And I'm gonna eat another piece.
Oh, she's great. I mean,
I mean, fuck it.
what the hell? And he takes a big old chunk off of there and takes a bite. Damn, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hey guys, they cooked a crick. And they start laughing. And a couple other guys kind of come over to see what you guys are doing and asking
I'm
if
gonna
they can
give-
also take pieces.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
cut
give
off
the
samples
full.
for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the other full tentacle to the cook and be like, pass it out as you like.
And Cook kind of looks at you very, very surprised again at the kind of decorum that you're exhibiting towards him as an orc being an elf, and just kind of gives you a nod and takes it and starts to pass it around, and everyone seems to be looking at Godoruk and looking at you and kind of giving you, nods as they go past.
I'm gonna take what I have left and I'm gonna go sit down next to Gundren and motion for Droop to come over and have a seat, and I'm gonna offer them both pieces.
Did you
Gundren.
traumatize poor Droop enough?
Gundren's gonna sit down next to you. He's been able to rest for a bit now. He's feeling a bit better. He doesn't seem to be as labored with his breathing. His wounds seem to be sealed up, and he's kind of engaged in the healing process. One of the orcs was able to kind of bring him some salves that they use to kind of patch themselves up, and they seem to be helping to accelerate his healing process. And so he sits down. Oi, Shane, what you got there?
So in the castle there was this creature called a Grick. I guess the orcs had killed it and they
Cool.
left the body there, and I took the head, and this is part of the tentacle.
You Greeks are nasty buggers.
It's delicious apparently.
Nasty
Really?
while living, delicious when cooked.
Oh, let me take a bite of this.
Sure.
As he
And when he
takes-
does that, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him. I'm gonna touch him on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds again
oh,
for 6 health.
very nice. And he takes it, and as you cast Cure Wounds, he kind of peps up a bit. Oh, thank you, Master Rashid. Let me take a bite of this. And he takes a bite and he starts chewing. You know what? It's a bit flaky, but it's tasty. It's not bad.
What do you think, Droop?
You can eat this?
Yeah. And I'm gonna eat another bite.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Try it.
What's it taste like?
Sort of like fish.
Droop like fish. Oh, okay. And he takes like a little hunk off of one of the sides. Starts chewing. And you see his little goblin eyes kind of get wide, and his ears kind of slowly slimp down a little bit. And it's one of the first times you think you might actually see Droop smile. Just, it's really good. And he literally just
Ashin
starts
is-
shoving his face in his hands, eating as fast as he possibly can.
Slow down, Droop. Slow down.
More? Is there more?
Droop.
I'll give him a piece of mine.
Well, no. Sure, if you want. Ashin's gonna hand the rest of what's left of his to Gundren and Droop, and he's gonna get up and he's gonna go into the tent.
Thank you. So good. And as you can hear Droop smacking as you walk away. Still sitting there next to Gundren. Gundren looks over. I just now realized I'm sitting next to a goblin. Fuck, it's been that kind of day.
Sounds
Us-
like I'm eating my uncle.
Uncle Grick.
Uncle Grick.
Pickle Grick?
Pickle
Knew
Grick.
it.
Pickle Grick.
Knew it. Knew it. Oh,
So Ashin's gonna. Ashin handed what was left of the tentacle that he had over to Gundren and Droop to enjoy,
Correct.
and he makes his way. He's gonna make his way away from the rest of the party and go into the tent that's been set aside for them. He's gonna take his pack off and set it in like on whatever bedding they might have provided for him, even though he doesn't use a bed. He's gonna take his cloak off. He's gonna take his armor off. He's gonna take his bracers off. And he's gonna sit on the edge of the bed. And he's gonna go into his meditative state.
Okay.
Leif is going to go over to Gundren and kind of crouch down a bit. And just, Gundren, just look at me for like 30 seconds. And nowhere near 30 seconds, kind of just takes in Gundren's appearance and just puts thumbs up. Thanks. And he heads off to the tent.
Don't understand what that was about, but all right.
He calls off as he's going away. Don't worry about it.
Fine.
can I look for Brugor? I want to talk to him.
As you wander over to the largest tent in the camp, you see the familiar head of bear surrounded by claws and assume that that must be Brugor's tent.
I will, before walking in, I will make some kind of noise indicator that I am outside and coming in, or going to attempt to come in.
You can hear faint talking inside. They don't seem to have heard you.
Take a step in.
As you step in, you see a familiar scene. It's almost like the exact arrangement of when you were in Brugor's camp before. He's got on one side of the room a kind of chair that's almost throne-esque, made and adorned with antlers. You see a bed that also has a headboard that is covered with various forms of antlers and skeletons of prey. You see a large war table with a war map on it, with the castle now in the center and toppled over. And in addition, you also see kind of multiple other chairs around said table. Brugor is standing at one end of the table, and two other orcs are standing kind of at the opposite end, and they seem to be engaging in some strategic discussion. And as you walk in, all three of them look at you. Boy.
I'd like to talk, if you'd have me.
He looks over at these two other orcs. Hey, here, guys. Give us a room, eh? One of them looks back at Brugor, seemingly to be a bit frustrated by the fact that they're being dismissed so suddenly. Brugor, why have we got to leave? We were in the middle of an important discussion. Brugor just gives him a very stern look. All right. Come on, mate. And grabs the other orc. And as they walk by you, he kind of goes and walks out the tent. Brugor kind of straightens himself up, gives himself a stretch. All right, boy. Come over here. Take a seat. What you want to talk about? And he's going to go sit over in his chair once again, on his way, taking a big horn full of mead from a barrel in this corner of his room and starts to take a drink.
I'm not going to sit down. I want to stand behind the chair. and just look at him and say, I need answers.
Oh boy, you're gonna fight me again. Sit down.
I'll begrudgingly sit down.
There you go. I told you most of what I know, boy. What do you think you're gonna learn from me this time?
Said that someone around you might know more than you did. There's a lot of orcs out there.
Aye, there are. But they're only men. Ain't a brain with two shits to put together between them. I would have had to go back to the town, talk to a local shaman. Keeper of our history. Might know more about you. Where you come from. But you'd have to come with me.
Can't leave my party.
That's fair. But if you want answers, that's what it would take.
Fair enough.
He's going to lean forward. Kind of put a hand on elbow on his knee. Look into your eyes. Last time we talked, I gave you the hammer of this clan. I'm wondering, boy, do you have any dreams since I gave you that hammer?
Just one. Just gonna pull the hammer out and just kind of stare at it for a while.
Tell me about this dream, then. Don't keep me waiting.
It felt more like a vision than a dream. There was a bear, not just any bear. But I don't even know how to explain it. It was so large, powerful.
Seemed unstoppable, right?
Exactly.
What'd it do, boy?
It just ran across the battlefield, seemingly unscathed by everything that was thrown at it. It felt so real.
What did he do at the end, boy? What did he do at the end?
I don't remember it.
Let me guess. It turned towards you, stared straight through your soul, and ran into you. Almost like it filled your body with its presence. Is that close enough?
That's exactly what happened.
Interesting. Boy, in this clan, few of us have that dream. Those that do go on to do great things. I had that dream when I was younger, and look at me now. It's a calling. It's a rite of passage, it is. The spirit of the bear embodies all that we are and that we do. It gives us all rage. It aids us in battle, makes us impervious to points and spears and all manners of things. As you continue to grow, its power will grow within you. You're from this clan, boy. That I'm certain. Whether or not you're the long-lost son of the chief, who knows? You could just have easily have been a whelp that got knocked up as we went through a town or two. But you've had the dream. It's confirmation enough for me.
You mean the long-lost son of the chief?
Now I know you were stupid. I told you last time. There was a war chief who was attacked by a bunch of humans, and they took his boy, and the boy was never heard of again. People looked, couldn't find him. We pillaged, we burned. Searched for the boy. Chief was extremely upset. But that was a long time ago. Doubt that boy's still around, especially if it was the humans that got to him. Chances are he was killed and cast aside.
Maybe he ran.
Maybe. He's gonna
Godric
lean
just-
back. Take another drink.
Godric's just gonna sit there in silence for a little while, and then stand, nod like he's got something on his mind, walk out.
Get some sleep, boy. Get some sleep. And as you walk out of the tent, you can see Brugor start to walk over to his bed.
I think it's bedtime for me.
You make your way to the tent. Gundren and Droop have also made their way to the tent. Leif, Asteria, and Bamir. What's going on with you?
Asteria would have made her way into the tent that was made available to us, and started her meditation.
Leif would have went over to the tent as well and gotten some rest.
Are we actually sleeping, or are we gonna go to the castle and fight the dude?
We're
Sleep
taking
first.
we're taking a long rest.
People are
and
hurt.
because of what time it is. We'll still have about 2 hours of darkness.
Okay. I guess Mimir will try and get some rest too.
And you
Plus
are
Asteria and Machine only need 4 hours.
and you are all able to take a long rest.
Yay!
Machine, when his rest is over, he's gonna put his clothing and his armor back on, and he's gonna notice the change to the brand. Finally. And he's just gonna hurriedly put the bracers on, pick up his gear, and walk out into the camp while everyone is still resting for another 4 hours.
As you do this, you're walking. The fire is still very much lit, and the cook who had prepared the meat has actually fallen asleep and is sitting near the fire, kind of in a somewhat drunken stupor. And as you gaze upon him and as you look around, you start to feel your arm pulse. And it pulses heavier. And you start to feel your hand move and unsheath your sword from your side. And as you stand there outside the tent, holding your sword, you feel yourself start to move forward. And I need you to give me a Constitution check.
That's a 19.
You feel this pull, and as your body shakes, and as you become more and more aware of what your body's doing, you grab your sword hand and you start to hold it. You feel yourself stop moving. You feel your body settling. The grip on the sword loosens, and your arm stops throbbing, and you're able to sheathe your sword. You look around. It doesn't appear that anyone has seen you. No one has looked at you, but you feel the effects of the pull of Chevrash.
Ashin's I'm gonna take a deep breath. And he's gonna look for breakfast while everybody's sleeping. Just maybe walk up to the sentries at the edge of camp and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get something to eat."
They're going to look at you, and the one's just going to say, "You know what, but be snappy about it. By the time the watch changes, if you're not back, they ain't going to let you back in."
And Ashin's gonna run off into the forest and look for like a rabbit.
You're able to find one.
Okay. Do you want me to roll for an attack on the rabbit?
No. Your ability as and your background allows you to hunt and gather.
So he's gonna shoot the rabbit and collect it, and retrieve the arrow out of it, put the arrow back, and make his way back to the same guard.
All right, shuffling.
He's gonna flip him a gold coin.
He's gonna look, as you walk by and not say anything, but he's gonna pocket the coin.
And Ashin will make his way over to the fire, and he'll strip the rabbit and just cook it right on the side of the fire.
As you continue to cook the food and make yourself breakfast, time continues to pass. As the rest of the party starts to wake, you begin to hear a sound. Rustling. It starts as a skittering, and then you begin to hear bells being run throughout camp. And you can start to see orcs rousing from their tents, drawing swords. As you look around, Ashin, you've noticed that there has been a wind that has passed across the camp and has extinguished all but the center bonfire in the camp. And give me a perception check. You can start to hear from all sides around you a familiar sound of chittering. You immediately recognize the sound of giant spiders that you encountered in Thunder Tree.
I'm gonna burst into our tent and just yell, "We're under attack. There's giant spiders here."
As you say that, a leg is going to cut through the back of the tent and reach in and reach for Gundren. And we roll for initiative.
Ooh. Oh,
19.
That's nothing.
11.
15.
17.
Un momento.
Oh.
Numbers.
I know. Numbers. Sorry, Bamir. Give me one. Bamir.
15.
15. Styria.
12.
Okay. Godoruk.
17.
Ashin.
19.
Okay. Leif.
11.
Okay. You have to give me a minute. The spider is going to reach in and it's going to spit web on Gundren, and it's going to land. And you're going to see Gundren's body start to be pulled out of the back of the tent. You're going to see another slit come in from another side of a tent, and it's going to target the next closest person, which happens to be Asteria. And it's going to attempt to shoot you with web, and it's going to miss. You're then going to see another slit come from another side of the tent. And Ashin, this one is right next to you. And it's going to attempt to bite you. And that is a 16 to hit.
Sure.
And it's going to reach in and bite you for 7 piercing damage, and you need to give me a Constitution save.
That's a 10.
You do not make this throw, and you take an additional 9 poison damage.
Ow.
You then see on top of the tent and see another cut is made at the top of the tent, and another spider emerges and it attempts to shoot web at Godoruk for a 14.
It's
And you are restrained. Give me a strength check.
$18.
Okay. Remember that from your turn, you will be able to be unrestrained. I did that a bit out of order, but still. Anyway, you're then going to hear the sound of additional spiders outside. And Nasheen, it is now your turn.
Can I get myself line of sight on the spider that dragged Gundren out?
It is through the back of the tent. You would need to use your movement to go outside the tent, which you could do.
Yeah, I have 45 feet of movement on my first turn.
Yep.
So I would like to get line of sight.
As you burst across the tent, you would incur an attack of opportunity from the one next to you. Unless you wanted to disengage first.
I wouldn't myself, but
I'll just engage the spider that bit me.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack it. That's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's 11 damage on the first shot.
Okay.
And then I'm Dread Ambush. That's a 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's 20.
20 damage?
Yep.
As you take your first swing, you cut off one of the legs of the spider that has a...
Oh, this is a shot.
Oh, you're taking a shot with a bow?
Yeah.
You're going to take 2 arrow shots. Okay. So as you turn to look at the spider that just bit you, you take an arrow, release right into its face in a second. As it had rocked back from the face shot, it exposed its abdomen, and your second shot goes straight into its center mass and pokes through the other side, and you can see the spider kind of catch itself on the rip and tear in the tent, shake, and then curl into its body and stop moving dead.
And then now I want to make my way outside so I can get line of sight on that spider.
You dart across the tent, and as you go through the tear, you can see the giant spider with Gundren wrapped in web making its way to the edge of camp.
Help!
Go
And that's
Narc.
my turn.
It's your turn. You successfully made the saving throw, so you were able to burst through the web. And I'll give you your action because I messed up.
I will turn on the spider that just tried to restrain me.
It's on the ceiling.
It's on the ceiling. Oh, fun.
Come outside, help me.
Can I get away without getting attacked by it?
Yeah, you are not within an area of opportunity of that spider.
All right. Then I will run outside and see what Ashin is yelling about.
As you make your way out through the tent, you look back to see the spider still on top of the tent looking at you. And about a good 40 to 50 feet away now, you can see the spider with Gundren in tow in web.
Is it 40 feet?
Yep.
Let's throw a javelin at it. With 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 8 damage.
I will... Okay, for 8 damage. As you throw your javelin, you strike the back of the spider as it's running. And you can see blood kind of spurt from that spot and start to streak down its back as it continues to look like it's going to be trying to get away from you. Bamir.
Bamir, seeing Gundren get pulled out of the tent, is going to dive through the hole that Gundren got pulled through and pull both of his short swords out and start charging at the spider that's got him tangled.
You make it within about 10 feet or so. of that spider. And you see the javelin come over your shoulder and hit its backside.
I will take the dash action and get in front of him
Okay.
and engage in melee.
As you dash past this spider, you can see Gundren attached by a web being dragged. And you make your way to the front and stand there ready with your short swords. Roll the hit.
I can't.
Oh, that was your action because you took the dash action. Yes,
Dash.
got you. You're going to hear the clash of additional spiders and melee happening back inside the camp. Asteria, your turn.
How far away is the spider that had taken Gundren?
It's
40 feet, basically.
it's 40 feet, but you have a spider right next to you. It tried to restrain you with web and it missed, but it's right next to you.
I want to get away. All right. She's going to cast. Is there anybody else left in the tent?
Leif is still there.
Droop and Leif are in the tent.
No casting moonbeam.
No casting a couple things.
I mean,
Damn it!
you can cast Moonbeam.
Or does she cast Moonbeam? I was just about to say.
I was gonna say I was looking at Thunderwave, but
You have your racial ability that can't provoke opportunity attacks.
We still have another fight to go into today for sure, so.
yeah, that's. Ugh. Sorry, looking. I don't know. Let me use wild shape. Green bear, go.
As your body begins to shimmer once again, it takes the form of a green dire bear. And as the form stops, you settle down, staring at the spider.
She's gonna attack it with the multi-attack. Where are you, bear? There you are. There's a... There it is. So 17 hit it?
That'll hit.
Okay.
For your bite.
Yeah. For the bite and then the claws after.
Roll to hit for the claws too.
Okay. 14. 22
That'll
for the
hit.
claws. So,
Then give me all that beautiful damage.
okay. It's 9 for the bite. And the claws are 10.
So a total of 19 damage.
Yes.
So as you settle down in your bear form and you go and look at the spider looks... And you reach in and bite one of its front legs that's in the tent and rip it clean off, and then take your claws and jam it into underneath the head area of the spider, and you can hear the scream of the spider. And as you rip the claws out, blood pours, but it just recoils. It's still alive, but it's very badly hurt. Leif.
Yeah, how many spiders are in the tent or partially?
There's
in the
one
tent?
on top of the tent looking down, and then there's the one that Asteria just ravaged.
Leif looks at the one near to Hysteria and casts Eldritch Blast. And 8.
8 misses. As you go to catch Eldritch Blast, you see this green dire bear in your way, and not wanting to hit Asteria at the last minute, you cast your hand aside and throw the blast into the tent, igniting it in purple flame.
Oof.
Oh shit. Leif just stays where he's at. Help Hysteria.
Next, you hear this huge roar. Brugor comes storming out of his tent, ready to attack the first thing that he sees, and engages with a spider that jumps down off the top of the tent in front of him. And he hits with both attacks, cutting one of the legs off and then impaling it with another one of his swords. And the spider dies. And he roars again. Get these spiders out of my fucking camp. And with that, another spider makes itself known and kind of flanks around and tries to hit Bamir with web. That's going to be 24.
Oh, yeah.
And Bamir, you're now restrained with web. Droop, stuck in the tent, terrified, picks up his staff and hits the spider next to Asteria and pokes it in its eye for 4 damage. And the spider goes, and it starts to shudder, and it looks very, very, very hurt at this point.
Droop's first move in combat.
Yay!
Baby's growing up.
Well, I can't say. It's more like blah, 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 blah.
The spider outside that has Gundren is now blocked by Bamir, and so it goes to attack you.
That was the plan. It's got advantage.
It does have advantage because you're restrained. And he needed it, but that was an 18 to hit.
Yep.
So it is going to hit you for 7 piercing damage, and you need to give me a Constitution save.
Oh boy. That is an 11. Cats.
Meow.
Meow. Meow.
You just made the save, and
Wow.
so you take 4 poison damage.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. You said 7 from the first and 4.
Yep, 7 from the first hit and 4 poison damage. So a total of 11 damage.
Oof. Okay.
And the spider is going to take the rest of its movement, which is 30 feet, to get around you and away from you.
I
With
will attack
Gundren
it.
still in tow.
attack of opportunity.
Yep.
It's trying to get away.
Let's see, because I am at disadvantage. Damn, I only got an 8.
Oof. Oh.
That will miss.
Shucky darn.
And the spider is able
probably
to
should
get
have spent
away
that inspiration.
30 feet towards the edge of camp. Next up is the spider that was in the side of the tent that's just been ravaged by Asteria and Droop. With its final kind of feeling desperation, it's going to reach out and try to attack Droop. And it's going to hit.
Miss. No.
Droop needs to make a save.
No.
Droop gets a natural 20 on his Constitution save. Let's go. I don't know how that works with a save. He still takes half damage, but still,
Hey.
it's still Droop is going to take 11 damage. Whoo. Let's see. Droop, I need your character sheet. Where are you, buddy? All right.
So he's at half health.
He's at half health. And then it is also going to try and get away, which will incur an attack of opportunity from Asteria
And Droop.
and Droop. We'll start with Asteria.
19 hit it.
That'll hit.
Okay. I'll roll for the other attack too.
It's just one attack.
Oh, that's right. It's just an act, so it'll just be the bite. 7. Oh. Sorry. Plus 3. So it's 10.
As that spider lunges in the tent and bites Droop, you reflexively bite down on the side of its body and tear a huge chunk out of the spider, and it falls down dead.
And you thought eating the grick was bad. Ugh.
I'm not eating it.
It's in your mouth.
It's in your mouth.
She goes,
Yeah.
Actually, spider meat's supposed to be quite tasty.
the spider on the roof is going to jump off of the roof and go to attack Godoruk.
There.
That's a 15?
Hits.
No, excuse me, that's a 14.
Hits.
So you're going to give me a Constitution save.
Toxic. 18.
You make the save. That will be 11 damage. 7 piercing and 4 poison. All of you that are taking poison damage, you are poisoned for 1 hour.
I thought that's what the save was for.
No. The save is for full damage.
Ooh.
Oh, that's it. I'm looking at the stat block. It says only if the target is reduced to 0 hit points by the attack.
No, if the poison damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour, even after regaining hit points, and is paralyzed while poisoned in that way.
Okay.
You take poison damage, and you're not poison resistant, you're poisoned.
Cool. The more I know.
The more you know. You're going to once again hear additional spiders in the camp being fought. And Ashin, we're back to you.
I'm gonna roll to attack the spider that's trying to flee with Gundren in tow.
Okay. Just a reminder that Gundren is being held on to it by its web.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to move the Hunter's Mark to that spider.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna roll to hit. So +7. That's 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's 16 damage.
Okay. As you fire into the spider, you can see the arrow penetrate deep into its rear area, and the arrow disappears, and you can see the spider visibly, but it still continues to crawl away from you. Godoruk.
Javelins.
You have a spider right next to you, just so you're safe.
Yes, I do.
You should rage.
Just saying.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna rage to begin with, and turn and attack the spider that just attacked me with my great axe. That is a disadvantage, correct? It's not poison disadvantage.
Poison only has you. Oh yeah, and attack rolls and disability checks. Yep.
So I will reckless attack to just make a straight roll.
Okay.
Just in case.
No, perfect.
$23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 14 damage.
As you felt the bite, you then turn, swing your great axe high, and come in straight on top of the spider's body and cleave a huge gash into its side. Bamir.
Bamir is going to try and escape. Like, can he attack the webs with his swords, or
It's a
Like-
strength saving throw.
okay? I got a 16.
You start to wiggle against the webs and are able to break free of the restraints.
Okay, is that that's my action then, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will move up to where the spider that's dragging Gundren is,
Okay.
and re-engage.
Okay. You are right next to that spider. The spider that restrains you is going to move forward and attempt to bite Ashin. That is a 15.
That is my AC.
Just hits. And You're gonna need to give me a saving throw.
19.
That'll make it. So you also take 7 hit points of damage and 4 points of poison damage.
What's the movement on the spider?
30.
Because I'm pretty sure that he had to dash to them, so that spider wouldn't have been able to get to me.
No, this was a new spider that came around and webbed Bamir.
Right, but that one would have had to be near enough to Bamir, which was next to the spider, which was...
Webbing is a ranged
40
attack, I'm
Webbing is a
assuming.
ranged attack.
Irving's 30.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay. Okay. Asteria.
So the one up top jumped down and attacked Godoruk.
Correct?
Bamir has another, and then the one that has Gudrun is escaping.
So there is one that is fleeing that is very hurt, that is carrying Gundren webbed. There is another one right next to Godoruk that he just axed, and there is another that webbed excuse me, that webbed Bamir that has now gone and attacked Ashin. So there are one next to Godoruk, one next to Ashin, and one running.
She will leave the tent and attack the one that's attacking Ashin.
Okay.
That's good, because I only have 1 HP. Please kill it.
I'm working on it. Shush. I'll look at my bear block. 23 for the bite attack.
Okay. That'll hit.
And 21 for the claw attack.
Both of those will hit.
Okay.
Show me some damage.
$11 for the bite. 10 for the claws, so 21 total.
As you burst through the hole made in the tent, you see this spider that has just attacked Ashin, and as you rise on your hind legs, you drive your claws deep into its back, pinning it down on the floor, and bite right at the back of where its neck would be and pull up and throw that chunk off to the side, and the spider is dead. Leif.
Leif will step out of the tent, and how far away is the spider near Bamir?
40 plus 30, so 70 feet away.
Leif will move up as much as he can and then cast Eldritch Blast on that.
Okay.
I've rolled a 2, a 2, and a 3. I got a 9. I get plus 6. This is a 3, so 9.
Get a attack roll first, bud.
That was my attack roll.
Oh, it's 9?
Yes, I've got a 2, a 2, and a 3 for all my rolls so far. We're doing good.
As you rush out and see Gundren being carted away, in your haste, you once again cast Eldritch Blast, and it sails over the spider and
Ah!
poofs into oblivion.
I would tell you to microwave your dice, but
Yeah.
I microwaved my daughter's dice because they were not treating her right.
Once again,
That's it.
Once again, you hear Brugor. He has now seen your tent being attacked, and he looks and he sees that your friend is being carted off by a spider. And he takes out a javelin. And as he throws the javelin through the air, you can see it impale the spider from the side, so much so with force that it rocks the spider over a good 5 feet, and it dies. Now stopping the capture of Gundren. He then is going to move towards you, Godoruk, and attempt to attack the spider that's next to you. And he hits again. For a total of enough damage to where he comes, raises the sword high above his head, brings his longsword down upon the body of the spider, and cuts it straight in half. And looks up at you, Godoruk. That's how you do it, ain't you, boy? Let's go kill some more spiders.
I had that one. I had it. It was mine. You just finished it off.
I did not.
Asteria tilts her bare head. Just like,
Ashin's gonna look at the party and say, "Ow."
Bamir's gonna try and cut Gundren out of his webs.
As you see these spiders go down, 2 more spiders rush from outside the camp towards you, and both will try to web you, Bamir, so that they can get to
good.
Gundren.
It's not over.
And they both miss,
Yes.
but are able to get within about 20 feet of where you're standing. Droop runs out of the tent with his stick, looks around, tired of, it's crap. And he sees no one around, so he just stands there looking rather pathetic. Ashin, back to you.
Ashin's gonna like kind of rock a little bit and see those spiders, and he's gonna move about 10 feet closer.
Okay. So they would be 60 feet away from you at this point.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm doing the math for me. They're 60 feet away from you.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark onto one of them, and I'm gonna roll to attack. $17.
That'll hit.
That's at disadvantage.
That'll hit.
Okay. That's 19. I rolled max damage on both dice.
Nice. As you pull back your bow, really pissed off, you can feel the mark in your arm burn, fueling you with additional rage. And as you loose the arrow, it flies straight into the side of one of the spiders, causing it to... And it starts to slow in its advance towards Gundren.
Attack that one!
Goderic.
They're 70 feet away? How far away?
Roughly.
70?
Well, probably longer because they're 20 feet away from me, and I'm about 70 feet away.
Move your movement.
Yeah. Good thing I have a crossbow. I will move up 30 feet. I'm going to use the crossbow for once.
Okay.
That is 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I'll attack the one that just got attacked.
Was that a disadvantage?
That was not our really good.
Because you can only attack recklessly with your melee, I believe.
$17 to hit.
That still hits.
Okay, good.
All right, let's go.
And damage. Eight damage.
As you bring up your crossbow, you aim right for where you see Ashin's arrow hit and release, and the bolt flies in just a bit off his mark, hits it more towards its face and impales it and knocks it over once again, and it starts to get up and gives out dead. Good shot. Let's go. Bamir, there's still one spider charging at you.
Bamir is going to move and stand directly over Gundrim and ready an attack in case one of them comes into range.
Okay.
He's like, Gundren, get up. Get out of there.
At this point, a spider comes up behind Brugor and goes to make an attack and misses. Brugor is able to just feign the attack and turns to meet it. Asteria. There is now one spider that you can see far off charging Bamir and Gundren, and another spider that has just attacked and missed Brugor.
I will move up as far as I can towards the one attacking, or going to attack Bamir and Gundren.
Okay. So,
I doubt I can get there in one turn, but
what's your bear movement?
I think it's 40. Yeah, it's 40.
So you're within... I'll say you're within 20 feet of Bamir and Gundren. As you were already outside the tent, so I'll give you a little movement there. So you're within 20 feet of Bamir and Gundren.
Okay.
So that spider is now 40 feet away from you. Out. Leif.
Leif kind of gets between where Brugor is in the party and the spider that is attacking is going to be going to Bamir cast Eldritch Blast again. The love of the Shadowfell. 8. Another 2.
Once again,
Wow.
you focus this time, channeling everything you have into this purple orb, and you release. And just before it reaches the spider, it dissipates, causing no damage.
You should microwave your D&D Beyond. I mean, dice. What?
We can blame it on the doppelganger. It's making Leif have a bad day.
Brugor goes to attack the spider behind him and is going to hit both times. He's going to take his long sword and slash through two of the legs on one side, and then come back over the top with his long sword and drive it down into the abdomen of the spider, causing it to die. And as he does that, another spider emerges on top of the tent where you all were and attempts to restrain Brugor. And just does. Brugor gets hit with web. He's stuck in place. Droop looks up and decides to run and follows Asteria.
Sorry, Mr. Orkman. You don't like spiders.
And Ashin, back to you. You now have
All right.
one spider in front, one spider behind.
Ashin's gonna turn and move his hunter's mark to the spider that has restrained Brugor. And he's gonna fire an arrow at it. And that's a 19.
That'll hit.
$13 damage.
As you turn back, hearing Brugor cry out, you're able to pull back an arrow and loose it at the spider, getting it in the side. It still stays atop the tent, but clearly hurt. Goderic.
I will take a shot at the webbing that's holding Brugor. A 19 to hit with disadvantage.
Dang, nice shot. Let's go.
And it is 7 damage.
What kind of damage?
7.
No, what kind?
What kind? It's crossbow, so
Piercing?
Should be piercing.
As you turn back and you see Ashin fire an arrow, you ready your crossbow once again and fire towards the feet where that are currently restrained of Brugor. And as you do, the arrow kind of cuts into the web, freeing the Brugor from the restraints. And he smiles. It was a bit close, boy, but all right. Bamir.
Oh, I thought that the spider would have attacked or something. Did he not go?
He did attack. He hasn't had a chance to go again.
I think he means the spider that's in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That
right.
one had a higher, has a higher initiative.
I'm like, hold on. I was here ready for an attack against the spider that was going to charge in or something.
You're right. You're right. Sorry, there's a lot of initiative pieces
Yep,
in this
yep.
one. All right. I'm going to show you what I just rolled.
Well, does he move up first? Because then I get to attack.
Yes,
I can't see that.
he moves up. Damn it. Work. It's a
I
2.
see
For the love of God, it's a
dots.
2.
Oh, hey, that's what I roll.
So yes, it triggers your attack. Roll to hit.
I got a 14.
That is its AC exactly.
Nice.
Get
Take
riggedy,
6
riggedy,
damage.
As the spider closes on you and goes to bite you, you're able to slash at it with one of your short swords and cut it across its face, and it negates the attack that it was about to have on you.
Okay, so now it's my turn.
Now it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to attack that spider that just tried to bite me. I got another 14.
Nice.
And it takes another 6 damage.
Okay.
And I will use my bonus action to attack with my other short sword.
Nice.
And I got an 18. So he takes 3 more damage.
Nice. As you
Get
then
the hell away from my friend!
you slash at its face again and again, inflicting more damage upon the creature. Asteria.
Is that spider still alive?
Yes.
Yes.
She'll. Is it within 40 feet?
Yeah.
Within 40? Okay. She'll
You
move
were
up
within
and
20
to
feet
attacks.
and it moved up
Okay.
to attack. So it's 20 feet away, basically 25 feet away from you.
Okay. I will make my 2 attacks. 17 on the first attack.
That'll hit.
and A natural 20 on the second attack.
Let's go.
So I need more d6s. D6s! Alright. The bite attack is 11.
As you
Yeah.
charge the spider, after Bamir slashes it, you tuck your head underneath its body and throw it. And it flips over. And as you bear down with your claws, you tear straight through and squish its entire center abdomen with another murder bear stomp. And it's dead.
I had that one! I was gonna kill it!
Leif. There's now one spider left on top of the tent.
Leif, just not thinking that his patron even likes him today, decides to just cast Frostbite on the spider. So it has to make a con save of 14.
That's how you avoid bad dice. Make them roll!
Is it Constitution?
Yep,
It fails.
of course it does.
That's good for you.
Oh, like it failed? Oh, okay.
It fails.
Yeah.
You
I
did
thought-
2 damage.
I just assume I don't do anything.
Okay.
It takes 4 damage and has disadvantage on its next attack.
Well, that's very advantageous. As you cast Frostbite, you can see its body start to jitter and freeze up and not move as fast. And as it goes to attack Brugor, it essentially falls sideways off the tent, barely landing on its legs. And it's Brugor's turn. And he just smiles. Takes his sword, drives it straight through the face of the spider, and cuts straight up, leaving a huge gash in the front half of the spider, and it falls to the ground. You once again hear a loud voice I'll destroy you if you come to the cave. And with that, you have survived the encounter.
Cool. Let's go back to Phandalin.
I'm gonna cut Gundren out of the webs now. It seems the spiders are all gone.
Ashin's gonna sit down with his measly 1 HP right where he's at and sit. 1 HP.
We heard you. Quit whining.
But did you get knocked unconscious?
No, only because I made a save.
Okay. Shush.
I'm gonna break character for a moment. Knight, you might want to ban blue flower red kappa. Spelagon, spell it back. Look at it backwards. You'll figure it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Done. Get out of my chat, you filth.
Back to it. We won.
We're sorry, chat.
Unfortunately, the mods and the DM are playing.
I read it earlier. Didn't even realize what he said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anywho.
Shout out to Nightmare for catching it. All right. Yeah. Anywho.
Yes, thank you, Nightmare.
Okay. Bemir's cutting Gundren out of the webs. Are you alright?
The hell was that a giant spider?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
What in the actual fuck is going on around here?
We were under attack by giant spiders?
I mean, in general, I've been abducted. I've had. Wait a minute. Is Sildar alive?
Yeah. Sildar is alive. He is back in Phandalin.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought he was dead. Killed me, yours. Took me map. Did you get the map? Did we save the map? I've been so.
Hey, it's taken care of. We've got it.
What the hell is all this? I'm
We're
sorry,
in
I
the
just
middle-
don't understand.
It's okay.
It's been such a whirlwind.
Me too. I don't even remember like the last 2 hours.
Gundren's gonna get up and just kind of instinctively start walking into the center of the camp where the rest of the party is, feeling safety.
Leif just kind of looks around. So, do we still have to give Gundren over to the spider? Is he gone now?
I think it's gone. Oh, I'm in bear form. Never mind.
I don't know. That sounded like he was done.
Okay.
Sounded like we should meet him at the cave.
Thought he said not to go to the cave, but that's fine too. Let's go to the cave in that case.
Well, I mean, he said he would kill us if we went to the cave, but I'm assuming we want to go to the cave, so if he's going to try and kill us there, then he's got to be there, right?
So let's go to the cave. Leif looks at Ashim.
I'd rather
Are you
not.
okay?
No.
Siri's gonna drop her wild shape and heal Ashin.
Ow. Don't touch.
Oh, be quiet.
You see the familiar shimmer of your form changing and reverting back to the petite green elf lady that you are, and you can walk towards Ashin.
She's gonna use Cure Wounds and heal you for 18.
Ashin's gonna and stand up.
Bless you.
Thank you, Droop.
I poked one.
Good job,
Very,
buddy.
very good, Droop.
I thought that's what I had heard. I'm sad I didn't get to see it, but good
We're
job.
so proud of you.
High five. Now Sheen's gonna hold his hand out for another high five.
Droop is
Leif
kind of
just
like gonna jump and high five.
Leif looks over at Droop. Look, on the bright side, you did more than me.
That's not true.
I did barely anything, except give Brugor an icicle to hit.
I think you did exactly the same amount of damage as Droop did. You both did 4.
I mean,
Yep.
Bad dice aside,
how's that short sword, Bamir?
I had that. I had him and that one.
Did you?
I did. Look, there's Iker on both of them.
Mine's still
Yeah, from the last
bigger.
one. We did see.
Yeah, until you can do more than poke an eye out, then we're gonna call it even.
I mean,
Droop is gonna.
I could
gonna
do
once
this,
again,
and
kind of like,
Ashin's
Kind of Droop.
Droop is gonna
Ash-
once again take his stick and kind of make little pelvic movements.
He goes aside. Is everybody else okay?
Brugor is gonna walk over to the group.
Well, we wanted to fight. We got to fight. Why spiders? Fucking hate spiders.
It's kind of on brand. He is the spider, so
Yeah, I don't think Asteria's too fond of spiders either, Brugor.
What kind of man you gotta be to command spiders?
He's not a man?
he's more of an arachnophiliac.
I don't understand what that means.
He likes spiders a lot.
A bit too much.
Well, I gathered that.
Like your bear thing, he's the spider version of that. Probably.
So
He's
we
just gonna-
we know what the spider is by now, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that came up.
Yeah.
Already.
you know that
Yeah.
he is a drow.
Like 7
So
sessions ago.
Ashin's just gonna look at Brugor and say he's a drow, and that's pretty much all we know.
Brugor's gonna take a look at you as you say that. He's gonna spit on the dirt.
Yeah, but that's how I feel.
I hate trow worse than I hate regular elves.
I mean, they are dirty.
We all
They
do.
do live in caves.
Come up and snatch our children, do unnatural experiments on them. Worst of all.
Brugor, with that, is going to kind of start to turn and walk back into the center of camp, and he's going to stop and look back.
Collect your souls. You're safe here, don't worry. Get yourselves patched up. We'll figure out what to do next. I still want to talk with you lot.
Can I eat my breakfast now?
He's not even going to dignify that with a response. He's just going to start walking in, and you can hear him start to shout.
Get these bodies out of here. Collect these spiders. Where the hell were you lot? I killed 3. How many you get? Huh?
He trails off.
2 of those were mine.
Uh-huh.
Technically, they were mine, but that's okay.
Could have been mine.
All I did was make a frost spider.
I hurt things.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, Bamir.
I'm gonna go collect my javelin that I threw at the one spider, and that's it.
She's gonna go to find his cooked rabbit to be overcooked.
Leif looks at our tent. Is it still on fire?
Yes.
Leif looks at it.
Shape water?
He gets shape water. Puts it out.
As you pour water or put water on the tent and extinguish the flames, the tent kind of wavers and then collapses in on itself. The weight of the water after the slashing of the top and sides and all the combat that's happened around it just made the tent give out.
The water goes back into Leif's water skin. He looks at the tent. Yeah, that about sums up my morning.
Leif, did you piss someone off?
This is probably a good time if no one's figured out yet. I may have upset a patron, possibly. May have asked it a question.
Did you ask it more than one?
Not
You
this
guys
time.
are good at that.
No, not this time. Long story short, I have a patron. I may have asked the question about Ashim. May or may not be annoyed with me. I don't know at this point. That or I just had having a very off morning.
I just thought you maybe pissed off the god of luck, but I mean, cool. You got a patron you pay homage to. I mean, that's cool, man.
Sure.
What's their name?
You know, I thought this would be fun. I didn't even ask. We're now here.
Oh,
Oh,
I do know pretty sure they're a hexblade.
oh, you have that kind of patron.
You have that kind of patron. That's why the dark magic.
I mean,
My
that's
hand,
cool. Hey,
the
you
sword
want a
hilt.
drink? And Ashin's gonna pull out the flask of the good stuff.
Tyrion's gonna look at Ashin like, what is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Leif
there's
Wait,
no
just-
good stuff.
Leif just smiles, goes over to it, and just open it up, Hashim.
Here, take a drink.
He
You
puts
look
his
like you need it.
he puts his finger inside and casts frostbite.
Hey!
It's fine. It'll melt eventually.
But this tankard's probably destroyed now.
Warm it by the fire.
Ashin's just gonna put it in his bag and just sit.
As the morning dawns, and you see the light crest over the hills, the orcs have collected the bodies of the 10 or so giant spiders that attacked you and have thrown them onto the center pyre where they burn. Brugor comes back to you sitting outside your destroyed tent and beckons you to go into his tent.
Follow.
Guess we follow.
Ashin's gonna be rubbing the flask with his hands, trying to create friction to warm it up.
As you enter Brugor's tent, he looks bright and alive. This is
Coming. Are you? You've got to be the strangest lot that I've ever met.
You're welcome.
Elves, orcs, goblin. But you do keep some interesting enemies.
She can turn into a bear.
I saw that. It was a bit unnerving, but also pretty badass.
Murder bear.
Damn right. I saw you squish that spider. It was nice. Point being, I made you a promise. I told you as soon as we got these goblins off our land that we'd be going home. And that's what we're doing. Man of my word. You can tell those people down in Phandafuck that we're going. And they won't hear from us unless they trespass on our land. I won't be seeing any more raids happening. I know they're all sensitive about it. We just took what we needed to deal with the problem. Perhaps one day they could surmise a thank you for dealing with this issue.
Would you be interested in leaving a contingent here to help with the goblin problem until things die down?
I don't think you understand me, mate. There ain't no goblins left. We cleared
Fair point.
out this entire area and chased everything back to the castle. They retreated, reinforced with everything they had, and that battle crushed them into oblivion. With you killing the king, there are no more goblins. You've decimated the Cragmaw.
Leif puts up a finger. Actually, we do have one goblin.
Yes, and he's fine.
Yeah, he's alright. That said, we're going. I don't want to leave any of my people here. We need to take ourselves back to our land, and we need to live until the next fight. I told you, orcs are simple people. We just want to have our bit, we want to have our place, and really, truly want to be left the fuck alone. As long as these people don't come looking for trouble, we ain't gonna give them any. That said, boy,
He looks over to Goderic.
don't lose that hammer. You run into any other orcs, you show them that, and you tell them if they want to start something, they're gonna have to answer to Brugor. I like you, boy. Come find me. You know the path. I'll give you a bit of a way. If you make it over around Wyvern Tor and keep exploring, somebody will pick you up.
Just gonna nod and extend a hand for a handshake.
Brugor is going to walk up to you and go right up to your face and grasp your forearm.
Don't be a stranger, boy. See you
Say
soon.
we meet again.
And he's going to kind of like throw you backwards a little bit out of the handshake and go grab another flagon of ale. Or
Fair
a
enough.
horn of mead. And as he drinks it down,
I think this is where we part ways.
Ashin's just gonna look at Brugor and say, may your god keep your sword sharp. And he's just gonna walk out.
with that, he's just going to... Anybody else?
Mysterio will follow Ashin.
Thanks for your hospitality, Brugor.
Thank
I'll take
you.
this the wrong way, but I hope we never see you again.
Speak for
You're-
yourself.
You're a cheeky bastard, you elf. But you know
Half
what?
elf.
Whatever. I'm not keeping score. As said, you showed some gumption on the field today. I'll give you a little nod of respect. Now get the fuck out.
Likewise.
This is my tent, you cheeky bastard, you know.
We're leaving.
Ashin's gonna walk back in
Yeah, Bamir's leaving.
and he's just gonna look at the map and then walk out.
Uh,
Well done.
fair.
Well done. Leif, are you out at this point, or are you still in?
Leif just gave a wave and left the tent.
As you exit the tent and you gather your things, you make your way out of the camp and set on your path for Phandalin with Gundren in tow. And we will find out more next time.